guys, I'm Bethany.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is Looking for the Middle.
And we have another CouchCast for you.
It's our last one again.
We need more ideas.
Okay.
Send us ideas, please, and thank you.
Ooh, this one's fun. And since I'm reading it, you have to answer it first this time, okay?
I told Bethany the reason that I always ask her to answer things first, and it just makes me sound really, selfless because I ask her for her opinion, is because I don't think well on my feet. So, I apologize for whatever's about to come out of my mouth.
Have to.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you'll be good at this one. What is the best piece of dating advice you've ever been given?
Oh, wow. What a great question.
Yeah, this one's fun. I'm going to have to, think on this one a bit.
Yeah. Dramatic pause. Gosh, greatest day. I wrote this question down. I should have thought of an answer.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I do, please.
Okay.
I told you I don't think well on my feet.
I think we're going to have to go with what is some of the best. Because if we each just
multiples.
say one thing,
it'll be like a 2-minute episode.
2.5 minutes, and we're done. So, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got was I have to realize that people are different. And just because someone does things differently than I do doesn't mean it's necessarily bad or reason to not continue. I tend to see things as the way I do them just makes sense to me, so why wouldn't everyone do it that way? Or the way I think about things just makes sense to me because I'm the one thinking it. So obviously everyone should think that way, and I can be a little bit impatient when people don't, or they don't see my, the obvious logic of the way I do things. And so my dear mother told me that. So I think that's one of the best things is you just gotta give people time, chill out, and don't expect everyone to be just like you.
I like that though. I think that's a good one. Especially like we've talked about, as you get older, you really get kind of set in how you do things and your routine, and
especially if you've lived on your own, which I have now for getting close to 10 years. Wow. Not quite, probably more like 8.
Okay.
But still,
I've definitely
been on my own for a while.
Yeah, kind of in your groove at this point. One of the things that comes to mind is my dad would always tell me this growing up, because me and my dad are basically the same person.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Look like my mom, act like my dad is what I tell people.
When I was learning how to drive.
Oh gosh.
I drove with mom more because we were, during the day we were together more, whatever. And I remember her worst insult was, "Oh, you drive just like your father." And I was
gosh.
Thanks.
Thank you. I don't really know how to respond. Oh gosh. No, but one thing my dad told me is, Kristen, if something is bothering you, you need to talk about it. Mm-hmm. And do not bottle it up, because he and I both have, and he didn't learn this until he married my mom, because he would just kind of suppress things until he couldn't hold it in anymore. And my mom was used to, let's talk it out right now. Let's go. And so he's told me over and over, if something is bugging you, if they hurt your feelings, if whatever, you need to talk about it right then, before all this bitterness starts to build, before the volcano erupts later on over something very minute. Because it's never something legit. It's always,
the straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly. So that is one thing that comes to mind, is not being afraid of confrontation to the point where you don't address things that need to be addressed.
I think that's a good one. That's a good life lesson for dating and otherwise.
Yes.
I know another one that's really helpful for me, and you're going to laugh when I say it, but when someone told me, just relax. I was like, oh, okay.
Yep.
That's helpful, actually.
That's helpful. Thank you.
It's when you feel like it's okay for there not to be any pressure, you suddenly have so much clearer of a picture in front of you, I think, when you're not trying to hurry up and make decisions that you don't have to hurry up and make. You suddenly
relax.
Yeah,
and you enjoy
exactly.
it, and you have fun. And it's not this,
oh
my gosh, I have to know very quickly if I'm going to marry this guy.
Who was the last person that ever told you dating was fun? I guarantee they were from your parents' generation.
Oh, definitely.
No one in our generation says it's fun.
Dating is not fun. No. Now, getting to the point where you're with somebody and being in a relationship with someone, that's really fun. Great. But initial dating, no. Yeah. It's a nightmare.
It is not fun.
It's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. We're not nightmares.
No.
Just saying, for any guys out there listening, we're fantastic. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Maybe I'll meet somebody that makes it not a nightmare. That's the goal, right? That's when I'll know. Right?
Put that on a t-shirt.
Seriously.
Just looking for the one guy that makes dating not a nightmare. Could
And
that be you?
Hashtag single for life. Oh, my word.
We're getting distracted.
Seriously. Another thing that I think I've talked about this before. My dad also told me this. When I was making my list for the very first time, I was a senior in high school. I'm listing my 42 preferences and all the things that I want. Like, oh, he can cook and he doesn't have any piercings and he only has 1-2 tattoos and he loves sports and he, whatever. And my dad looks at me, I will never forget this, and he said, Kristen, as long as he loves the Lord and he loves you, that's really all you need to worry about. And I was like, oh, wow, Dad, you're right.
Yeah.
And I didn't rip up the list or anything. I didn't go that far, but...
You're still like, yeah, but these things would be really nice.
Yes, but I do have that always in my mind of, does he love the Lord and does he love me?
Yeah.
And then we'll because as we've talked about in so many of our different episodes, we've broken down what love looks like.
Yeah.
So it's not just, oh, is he loving and like lovey-dovey? I'm not talking about that kind of ooey gooey rom-com love.
No.
I'm talking about, do his actions and his words portray love for God and for me? And then we can talk through other things.
Yep.
So that's kind of the filter I try to think through.
Here's a fun twist, and it wasn't part of the question, but you know what? This is our show.
It's our show.
And we can do what we want.
We can do
So, that was a Z-snap for those of you who can't see through the screen. Kristen snaps all the time, and I haven't had the heart to tell her no one can see you.
I just want them to be able to hear it.
They
That's fine
do,
if
and they
can't see
wonder
it.
why there's so much static on our audio,
Okay,
probably.
fine.
Anyway, just kidding. You know I love you.
Yes.
Okay, so back to what I was saying.
Yes.
What's the worst piece of dating advice you've ever gotten?
Oh.
And I've wanted to ask this literally since we started talking, but I was like, I need to think of what mine is first, and I still haven't. So it's just gonna be like, oh boy,
Here we go.
it's hard.
It is hard.
Well, and it's funny because I saw something not too long ago basically saying Christian dating advice is so all over the place because people are like, make sure you date a year. Don't date more than a year. Make sure you have boundaries. Make sure you relax. Like, don't kiss until you're married. Oh, you've got to kiss someone to make sure you know there's chemistry. Like, all these things. It's like people
I'm
make up
sorry,
your
what?
mind.
I know.
So anyway, okay, did you think of one?
Yes. People who tell me, oh, honey, you just need to be, like, go be content with God. And then...
Poof. You'll get a guy.
You'll meet your husband or whatever. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that is bull crap, okay? That is cleaning it up for you people, okay? Because...
It's so funny. I think mine's kind of along those lines. It's not something that someone directly told me. Like, I'm sure someone has told me that at some point. But people who say, well, when you know, you know. And I think that just sets you up for, like, if there's any sort of, like, hesitation or questioning, you're like, do I know or do I not? I'm not sure. How will I know that I know that I know?
Yeah.
Like, is it like, oh, skies open up and I know? Or how does that work? It's stressful for me to think about that.
Yeah, because I've met plenty of people who have said that. And I'm just going to chalk it up to the fact that I haven't met him yet, so I don't know.
I hope so.
But...
It stresses me out, though,
It
still.
is very...
It's not helpful.
I think not always, but it's harder for me to take dating advice from people who dated in a different generation and who don't recognize that it's different.
That I'll give you. Yeah.
Because obviously there are a lot of common themes in dating and things that just don't change. But
and those people obviously figured something out because they're older and married.
Exactly. However, it's the people who come to me now that are talking through dating with me and they're like, Kristen, I get it. Like, I do understand this, but also I do know the circumstances were very different when I was dating 20 years ago as opposed to now.
Well, or versus the people who seriously just think Tinder's the thing you start a campfire with.
Yes.
And they're like, app what?
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. What does that mean? You use your phone to do what now?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, honey.
You're like, oh, you have no idea. So that's when, if they're coming to me, they'll be like, look, I get that it's different, but I also know that this is the same.
Yes.
I am more apt to listen to you than you just
very true
telling me, oh, honey, once you're content with the Lord, you'll meet him. I'm sorry. Are you telling me every married couple ever has been content with the Lord before they get... No. Wrong. Try again.
Yes.
I get really fired up about this.
And I struggle sometimes too, and this is my own thing. When someone got married when they were 22, and they're, 22, 23, I'm not saying anything bad about any of them, but then they start giving all this, I'm like, you don't know what it was like.
No.
Or what it is like to be 32, or 28, or whatever, and dating.
No.
You don't get it.
No, it's so different. I don't know what another word is to describe it. I'm trying to think of it's different.
Yeah.
And it's
It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
It's not even just like, oh, it's a little bit has changed since then. It's
Yeah.
like people talk about, well, we're not on the same page. Like, if we're talking about this being on the same page as like dating 30 years ago, we're not even the same library.
Mm-mm.
Forget pages, words, books,
Nope.
shelves. We're not in the same building.
That's totally true.
So,
I hadn't thought about it that way, but it is
yeah.
very drastic. I like that little twist.
yeah, there we go.
We're not bitter at all. It's fine.
We're really not.
No.
For real. We joke
not.
and we
have
cut up, but
And that's with anything in life. You're going to get good advice and you're going to get not so good advice. And this is where wisdom and discernment really come in. You have to, like, okay, am I doing what I can do? And then am I letting God do what only He can do?
well, and you can practice patience and kindness because those people, even if they're giving you the most useless advice ever, 9 times out of 10, they have the purest, sweetest, kindest motives.
Oh, for sure.
So realize that. Look past the totally unhelpful thing they're telling you to, you know what? Thank you so much for taking the time to care that I might be struggling.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
Thank you.
You know, we're kind of joking, but for real.
Yeah,
It's a nice thing.
it is.
So anyway, that's some of ours.
Yeah,
We should put a picture on Instagram and people can
comment
tell us
on
the
their
best or worst
dating advice.
they
I
ever
would
got.
love to
Okay,
hear that.
I'll do that.
Yes, let's do that. And then maybe we'll share it at the beginning of another episode.
Yeah,
just like what
some
people
of the
said.
Hall of Fame and shame.
Yeah. Hall of Fame. That's awesome. Yes.
Okay, so look for that. Go over to Instagram, find that picture, and tell us what your best or worst dating advice you ever got was.
We are at LFTM_podcast in case you don't already follow us.
Yes. Just if you search for Looking for the Middle podcast on Instagram, we'll pop up. It'll
real
be
quick.
our beautiful faces.
But you don't know what those look like because it's a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. We're not bad to look at. That's all I'm going to say.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
I haven't washed
Okay.
my hair in 2 days, so I'm a little rough right
Same. I gotta
now.
wash my hair tonight.
But
That messy bun coming in clutch.
we're getting a little off topic.
All right, yeah. Anyways, guys.
Stop talking about our... I just
you're-
said stop.
Yep. If you're still here, thank you. We really do love you, and you are the real MVP. So,
We really do love you. Like,
Yes.
for real. Y'all are the greatest.
Seriously.
So,
Thanks
we
for
will
being
leave you with that. I don't know what it was, but...
jumbled brain dump.
Yes. So, until next time, I am Bethany,
And I'm Kristen.
and this is Looking for the Middle.